Did you know that some Italian towns are offering houses for as low as $16? Yes, you heard that right. The price of a pizza could potentially buy you a home in one of the most beautiful countries in the world. But it's not just about cheap housing. Some places are even offering bonuses up to $31,800 for new residents. So why is Italy practically paying people to move there, and what's life really like for those who take the plunge? Stay tuned to discover the surprising truth behind these incredible offers. Imagine a quaint Italian village where, in less than a century, the population has fallen from 13,000 to only 7,000. This is the actual situation that Prisacqua, a little town that perfectly captures Italy's population catastrophe, is facing. It is not a work of fiction. Similar tales are being told across the nation as numerous towns and villages struggle with declining populations and the resulting difficulties. There is more to the problem than deserted homes and deserted neighborhoods. The whole foundation of Italian society is at danger due to this complicated issue. The population of rural areas is aging as younger generations move to cities in pursuit of opportunities. A chain reaction results from this exodus. Fewer inhabitants translate into lower local spending, which in turn causes a drop in facilities and services. The outcome? A difficult to break cycle of economic stagnation. However, the effects are not just felt in rural regions. Even while they draw younger people, urban areas have their own problems. Housing and infrastructure are strained by the population growth, and basic services are difficult to sustain in rural areas. Managing this balancing act is getting harder and harder. Prisacqua Municipal Council member Alfredo Pes provides a clear picture of the circumstances. He remarks, "It's heartbreaking to witness these beautiful architectural structures falling into decay," alluding to the several homes that have been abandoned since 1991. His remarks emphasize the cultural legacy at risk while capturing the emotional toll of this demographic transformation. So how is this being handled? That's where it gets fascinating though. Given the gravity of the situation, the Italian government is acting creatively. They aren't merely observing the decline of their towns. Rather, they're starting programs that may seem too good to be true, like paying individuals to relocate to Italy. But what if I told you that a house in Italy could be purchased for merely $16 at this very moment? In the US, that is roughly the same cost as a bottle of water. There's more to this story than meets the eye though, so think again before you start packing. Greetings from Portola Poligna, a little Italian village that is gaining notoriety for its exceptionally low house prices. This is not a one-time offer, rather it is a component of a larger plan to reinvigorate underperforming areas throughout Italy. From Tuscany's undulating hills to Sicily's sun-drenched streets, cities are welcoming newcomers with deals that look too good to be true. However, how do these initiatives compare to the cost of living in other nations? You could find it difficult to find a closet-sized apartment in New York City for less than $2,000 per month, but in Italy, you might have to pay anywhere from $330 to $550 for a cozy place to live. Many people are reevaluating their living arrangements as a result of this striking discrepancy. Cheap housing is just one of the incentives. Cash bonuses are being offered by certain communities to sweeten the deal. For instance, consider Prisacqua. A staggering $31,800 is being offered to newcomers to this charming community. It's a component of their strategy to revitalize a village that has seen its population decline over the past century, from 13,000 to barely 7,000. However, how does really making the leap feel? Well, different people have different experiences. Danny McCubbin, a British national, was forced to sell his $1 house at a loss after restoration expenses went over his budget. Conversely, Jose Ramos from Milton Keynes is doing very well. He has successfully repaired his property and is now looking to buy additional because of his proficiency in Italian. You may be asking what the catch is. There are a few things to think about, though. For example, you have 6 months from the date of purchase to submit a comprehensive renovation plan for Portola Poligna. If you don't, you risk a hefty fine of $10,800. However, Portola Poligna does not require a security deposit, which makes the initial investment more accessible than in some other towns. So, how do you put yourself out there? Although each municipality has its unique application procedure, you will typically need to provide documentation of your financial stability, a well thought out repair plan, and perhaps a pledge to stay in the town for a specific amount of time. These municipalities are searching for people who will actively contribute to revitalizing their communities, not only to fill vacant homes. You may be curious about what life is like in these little Italian towns as we come to the end of this part. That's precisely what we're going to investigate next. Prepare yourself for a taste of the lifestyle that may await you in your new Italian home, from the regional food to the sense of community. Imagine yourself enjoying an espresso on a sunlit piazza while conversing with neighbors who have become fast friends. Doesn't it sound perfect? The surprise is that everything you believe to be true about modern living may be called into question by your new Italian utopia. Are you prepared to learn why some foreigners adapt well while others find it difficult? The bustle of the city is very different from life in a quiet Italian village. You may find yourself walking down cobblestone streets to the local market rather than hurrying through packed subway stations. It moves more slowly and deliberately. Traditional festivals and community events become the center of your social life, providing a sense of community that is frequently difficult to find in metropolitan jungles. However, adjusting to this new society isn't always easy, particularly in rural locations where English may not be widely spoken. Language hurdles can be a serious problem, from the revered afternoon nap to the skill of cooking and savoring lengthy, unhurried meals. You'll need to adopt the local traditions. You may be pleasantly surprised by the amenities and services offered. The Servizio Sanitario Nazionale, Italy's healthcare system, offers excellent care at incredibly affordable prices. In actuality, healthcare costs only make up 9.5% of GDP, which is much less than in nations like the US. Free and usually of excellent quality, public schools frequently compete with private ones. Be ready though for possible infrastructural variations. Rural areas may still rely on slower internet connections, which could limit the opportunities for remote employment, even if urban areas usually have decent broadband connectivity. These small communities' sense of community is a big lure for many foreigners. Newcomers are frequently greeted with open arms by locals who invite them to partake in community activities and traditions. A sincere sense of belonging and long-lasting friendships might result from this integration. There are many success stories from those who have taken the risk. Renovating historic houses, picking up the language, and becoming fully immersed in the culture have all been enjoyable experiences for many foreigners. Through blogs and social media, they frequently share their experiences, offering prospective immigrants insightful information. As we get to the end of this look at Italian small-town life, you may be asking how realistic such a move would be. What are the typical worries that prevent people from moving forward? And how do you know if this is the correct opportunity for you? In the following section, let's examine these queries. Could that $110 property in Italy turn out to be more expensive than you anticipated, or is it truly a deal? Living in a charming Italian village may seem like a dream come true, but it's vital to understand that not everyone is cut out for this opportunity. Let's examine the benefits and drawbacks of taking such a drastic step. Positively, the quality of living in Italy is unmatched. Imagine enjoying delectable food, being surrounded by a rich cultural legacy, and waking up to breathtaking scenery. Particularly in rural areas, the cost of living can be substantially lower than in many other nations. For example, depending on the region, renting a medium-sized apartment in Italy can cost anywhere from $600 to $1,800 per month. The national healthcare system, which offers services to citizens at little or no cost, is likewise well regarded here. But the beautiful idea that many people have of relocating to Italy might be very different from the reality. For those Aspar dollar homes, renovation expenses can sometimes surpass the original purchase price, perhaps resulting in large losses. Particularly in rural places where English is not as widely spoken, language hurdles can be a significant obstacle. Without local help, navigating the intricate Italian bureaucracy can be difficult, and acclimating to cultural differences may take some time. Another crucial factor to take into account is the financial requirements for relocating to Italy. Proof of an annual income between $31,000 and $38,000 is required for non-EU nationals applying for an elective resident visa. As an alternative, the Italian investment visa requires confirmation of an annual income of $100,000 and a minimum investment of $500,000, which can be lowered to $35,000 with substantial real estate investment. It is also important to think about the long-term effects of such a decision. Although these initiatives might help struggling towns temporarily increase their population, the long-term viability of such development hinges on the newcomer's capacity to assimilate and support the local economy. People who took the initiative to learn the language and become familiar with the local culture are frequently featured in success tales. In the end, this chance may be most appropriate for retirees seeking a change of pace, daring individuals with a sincere interest in Italian culture, or those who have the financial resources to overcome unforeseen obstacles. It's critical to approach this choice with a realistic outlook, do much study, and be open to adopting a new lifestyle. For those looking for excitement and a change of pace, Italy's creative solution to its population problems presents a special opportunity. These initiatives have the capacity to rejuvenate entire communities in addition to offering possibilities to individuals. As local council member Alfredo Pes notes, "We want to see them come back to life with new residents." This remark encapsulates the essence of Italy's endeavors to revitalize its picturesque towns and villages. This could be the ideal moment to fulfill your lifelong goal of relocating to Italy. Spend some time learning about the particular programs that are offered in various areas. Think about how this opportunity fits with your own objectives and desires. Would you be able to learn Italian, renovate a historic house, and integrate into a tight-knit community? Looking ahead, Italy's strategy poses fascinating queries on how international migration contributes to community revitalization. Could other nations dealing with comparable issues use this model? If these projects are successful, our knowledge of population dynamics and community revitalization may change globally.